So I originally grew up in Prince George, British Columbia, in Canada, and but I always tell people I'm from Vancouver because no one knows where Prince George is. And about 4 years ago, I moved down to the States, and hadn't really planned on moving to California, but it so turned out that I was in the Baja with a fiance at the time, and we split up, and I didn't want to go back to Canada, and so I took a look around Encinitas and thought, oh my gosh, why would I ever want to leave here? It's so beautiful, and you know, where it's rainy and cold in the winter. I'd had enough years of that, and came to the eternal sunshine and summer of San Diego, and love it, love it, love it.
Where were you spiritually when you started hitting these rough patches?
I was definitely a follower of Abraham's teachings and Bashar and Cryon, and definitely spirituality was very important in my life at that time. And of course I went through the whole, if I'm the creator of my reality and I'm this all-powerful creator, why the hell am I sleeping in my car? Like, what? You know, where's the money and where's the security and where's the help? And so there were definitely deep valleys in that journey. But you know, in hindsight, I look back and realize it's all perfect that I went through those experiences, because sleeping in a little Toyota Corolla all cramped up in the back seat
with your son.
With my son, I tell you, I never take a bed for granted now. Like, being able to stretch my legs out when I sleep is just like, oh, so good, so good. And that never even occurred to me before. All the things that we take for granted, that it's good to just lose that for a little while so you can come back to it and go, oh, this is so good. And definitely dealing with guilt related to having my son sleep in my car and being homeless. You know, there's so much stigma that comes with the word homeless, and I had to deal with that, and Julian was fabulous, and we just made it an adventure, and we were outdoorsmen for a while. And he was really my best teacher in that whole experience, because he was the one who subdued me and said, don't worry, Mom, it's okay. This is totally cool. I'm comfortable. It's all right, you know.
What age was he at that time?
He was 10. Yeah, he was 10 years old at the time. 10, 11.
So you've gone from sleeping in your car, this is a classic, to the house that is behind you. You've got a hot tub behind you and a pool, and I've seen your bedroom. So tell me about where you are.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I live in $1 million house, and with all the luxuries that come with that, and my bedroom, I can do a cartwheel not only in my bathroom, which I've always wanted to be able to do, to have a bathroom so big that I could hang out in it. I could do a cartwheel in it, but I can do a cartwheel in my walk-in closet. And so it's just, oh, that feels so good. And the thing is, it was effortless having that go down. It required no effort whatsoever.
You just kind of followed.
Yeah, well, it literally landed in our lap, in that my roommate's ex-husband called her and said, hey, I'm doing some landscaping for this client of mine, and she's looking to rent out on Airbnb this 5-bedroom house, and it's beautiful and it's gorgeous and you guys would love it. And I asked her if she'd be willing to rent it out to you girls, and I think you should check it out because it's gorgeous. And so actually I wasn't even going to come and look at it, because I thought, it's too close to the beach, the marine layer, fog, cold. I want to be where it's sunny all the time. And so I had no intention of renting it. But I thought, it's a gorgeous house. Let's just look at it, because I love going to open houses. And so we came and checked it out and instantly bonded with the owner. and started walking around the house and thinking, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And then we came out to the patio of this area, and it seats 23 people out here. All the furniture was included, and I love to have parties and gatherings, and I have a lot of friends. And so I just thought, oh my gosh, I could totally entertain out here. And we asked her, so you probably get socked in with the marine layer, right? And she goes, oh my gosh, no, like we're facing south. We've got all this sun coming in the house. It's always bright, and we're just outside the marine layer. So I looked at Ina and I said, I'm running out of excuses to not rent this place. And then this was the clincher, especially for her, is we were on our way out, and she said to me, is that a dragonfly necklace that you have on? And I said, yes. It's funny that I wore this today, actually, because it's green and blued with a blue body and blue and green wings. And I wasn't wearing anything blue and green. I was wearing white, and I always wear jewelry to match my clothes. But I felt compelled to wear this necklace. And she starts tearing up. And I looked at Ina, I thought, oh my gosh, what did we say? And she said, well, my husband passed away a year or two ago, I can't remember, from cancer. And we had some time before he departed, and we came to this agreement that he would come visit me, give me thumbs up in the form of a blue-bodied dragonfly. And we were all, I'm feeling emotional thinking about it now, but we were all just like, oh my God. And, tears started to flow, and we just all got the confirmation that we're meant to be here. And Bob was going, yes, yeah, that he just set it all up, and that was confirmation for Maureen that, have these girls in here. They're who we want in this house, to keep it alive and honor it. And it was just a magical story, so great, and just it felt destined.
What is your idea of perfect happiness?
Perfect happiness. God, I love your questions, Peter. To me, perfect happiness is being in a complete state of trust. That knowing that secure knowing that there's guides, there's angels, there's whoever, source has got my back. Just that trust, not even hope, complete and utter trust. That's, I think, when happiness can really flow. When it takes worry out of the picture, and then you're just zipping along.
What is your most prominent characteristic?
My non-physical most prominent characteristic, I think, would be my huge desire and love. It brings me so much joy to take care of other people. Like when I have a party, I like to make sure, okay, do you have a drink? Can I get you anything? Just being the hostess who's making sure everyone's taken care of, that no one's wanting for anything. I love being that person who just is a good hostess. Yeah.
You got the house for it. What trait do you most admire in other people?
Oh, I most admire people who are willing to be vulnerable and really show me maybe dark sides of themselves, maybe sides of themselves that aren't pretty. For someone to be that trusting and comfortable in their own skin, to be really naked with that and raw. I love that. I think that's the most beautiful thing to witness. Yeah.
What trait do you most admire in yourself? Now that might be similar to what you said, but what's something about you that you say, yeah, that's it?
The thing that I like the most about myself, which simultaneously I'm trying to let go of, and I'll explain why, is how independent I am. Independent, actually, I'm going to say what first came to my mind. How magnificent I am. And I don't want to say that because it sounds really arrogant, but in that I've had so much adversity in my life that it's amazing what I've been able to pull off so many times, over and over and over again. How many times I've been able to just make stuff happen that blows everybody's minds around, who can't believe that I actually was able to get through that ordeal. And so I've worn that as a badge of honor. But then, so that's fantastic. I love that I'm not dependent on other people, but that's also made me very too independent, in that the idea of allowing myself to rely on other people has been very difficult. And so the thing I most admire about myself, I'm actually trying to just let it go now, so that I can soften and not be so, I don't need anybody, and just go, yeah, okay, I'm willing to be vulnerable. That person that I admire, I'm trying to be more like that, and be vulnerable and naked and needy once in a while, needing or wanting to lean on someone. Not that I require someone to lean on, but allow myself to let someone take the weight. Oh, yeah.
Very good. Which living person do you most admire?
I admire my son most of all, actually.
Because?
God, where'd that come from? Because he's my biggest teacher. He taught me how to play again when I didn't know how to play, when things were really hard. He taught me the importance of having fun. And no matter what I do, that in hindsight I think, oh, you're screwing his life up, he's so untouched by it. And no matter how many mistakes I make as a mother, he's still so resilient and so his own person and so solid in that. And he's so powerful. He manifests the most magnificent things. Yeah.
All right, that's a good one.
God,
a couple more.
that was good.
I'm going to wring them all out of you. What is your greatest extravagance?
Money, my whole life, growing up, since I was a child, my parents were very frugal, penny pinchers, and most of my adult life I was broke, always struggling. And a year ago I started making a lot of money, and I wanted a new car. I had a car that was very, very old, tons of repairs, and I, yeah, the Toyota that I slept in. Great car, but so old. And I wanted the most luxurious car that I could find. And I remember a yoga student years ago saying, Lee, you gotta check out the Lexus. Go test drive a Lexus, because they're just the most luxurious feeling cars. I couldn't care less about performance, gas mileage, who cares? I wanted power everything. I wanted it to practically do my dishes. And so I took a test drive in a Lexus RX 350, and it was the most luxurious feeling car. It was huge. It felt like I was driving, like I was piloting this Starship Enterprise. It was just so big, and it just did everything for me. I push a button and everything moved to conform to my body, and I leased it for 2 years, and I paid the lease in one payment. I didn't want to make monthly payments. I paid it all off all at once. And that was the most extravagant thing I'd ever done and most delicious, abundant thing that I'd ever done. Yeah.
Perfect. What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I ask myself that every day. What do I want to do today that's fun? And in fact, if it's not fun, I really try to get out of it. Whether that be a conversation, a gathering, whatever. The thing that I do for fun that really, I think, juices me up the most is hanging out with my friends that I have accumulated. I'm really picky about who I surround myself with, and as a result, I have such high vibing people around me, and I am in my highest excitement when I have a party and invite all of my friends and get a bunch of balloons and celebrate some or all of those friends and just swim, bask in the friendships that I have.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
How judgmental I am of myself. I would like to just let go of all of the little critical voices that I hear about myself.
Which talent would you most like to have?
Talent. Does that include superpowers?
Why not?
Somebody asked if they'd like to fly.
Yeah, flying.
X-ray vision.
I would love to fly. I would love to, if we're talking superpowers here, I would love to be able to communicate with animals, to be a liaison between pets and their or who the pets own. I would love to be able to make a person feel the amount of love that a person could feel. I would like to be able to touch someone and impart to them the most delicious, concentrated waterfall, tsunami of love. That is a gift I would like to give to everybody. If I could choose, actually, yeah, forget all the rest of the superpowers. That's the one, if I could choose one, that would be it.
What do you consider to be your greatest achievement?
Oh, okay, easy. I thought that was the hardest question. Easy. My greatest achievement to date would be not allowing myself to be jaded by the hardness of life that I've experienced, and to come out on the other side of it all with the most positive outlook. Yeah.
And if you were to come back as a person or a thing, what would it be?
Ooh. I would come back as a cat in a really loving home. Hands down, easy.
Pretty sweet. What is your most treasured possession? Maybe it's your car.
My most treasured possession. Oh my gosh. It's so funny because possessions aren't, I mean, much as I love my car, and I mean, those are fun toys.
It's nice to have stuff, but
It's nice to have stuff, but yeah, I could easily let it all go, because when I left Vancouver, I gave away or sold almost everything I owned other than what would fit in my car. And so I had to let go of a lot of things that I was attached to at the time. And I realize now that none of that mattered anyway. That's not the important stuff. So I don't really have any most prized possessions.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's an answer in itself.
Yeah.
Do you have a motto? Words you live by?
A motto? Yeah, no matter what I'm doing, no matter who I'm doing it with, No matter where I go, nothing is more important than me being happy. And I totally stole that from Abraham. But though that motto changed my life. Changed my life. So to me, there is nothing more important than being happy. Period.
What's one of the crazier things that you believe?
That I believe.
You know some of mine.
You're crazy. They're right there.
Everything I believe is crazy. I would consider myself so not normal, and to me that's a compliment. I just don't believe in, I don't consciously believe in any limitation. I believe that everything around me is a complete hologram. For Star Trek fans out there, they'll totally get that. It's programmable by me, and all I need to do is get out of my own way and let the program be changed if I want it to be changed. And then my external world will conform to that. Yeah, that's probably the most woo-woo thing out there that I believe.
This vlog is called Amplified Life, and we always ask everyone, to you, what does it mean to live an amplified life? It doesn't have to be in one sentence. Just give it a little bit of thought. And what is living an amplified life to you?
That is a fabulous question. An amplified life to me is figuring out if there were no limitations, there were no money limitations, there were no geographic limitations, if you were as talented as you would like to be, could imagine yourself being, and how would that person live their life and live it like that? And that's kind of, on my really good days, that's how I try to live. I try to live an amplified, I never thought of it that way, an amplified life, but my best life, my most inspired life. I love inspiring people just by living how I live, and I want to be living a life that is inspirational. And so that's how I try to live my life, is if this was the best day, if I was my best me, how would I act? What would I do? What would I be like with other people? How compassionate would I be? How loving, kind, generous would I be? And just be that. Yeah.